Oh, shoot. Hey, sorry, I'm live. Hey, little girl, how are you? Oh, I know. I'm late. What can I say? It's Monday. It's a holiday. Uh, I got no excuse. I'm lazy. I'm not going to lie. I'm just a lazy person. How was everybody's holiday Sunday? Yes, or today's the holiday, I reckon. How was everybody's Sunday? Mine was good. I actually mowed the yard Sunday and listened to the race while I was doing it. Morning, dog. I I couldn't watch the race live, and it's it's the first time. It may not be the first time, but it's the first time I remember it being live here in Indiana. But I always listen to it, always have, and it's kind of a tradition. So I put my headphones on after the start of the race and mowed. Actually, I finished mowing maybe 45 minutes after the race was over, I'd say. I didn't go to church yesterday, but because it was race day, and it's just a tradition that I listen to the race. I always listen to the start of the race. I never miss the start. I may listen off and on if I get busy doing something, but anyway, it was a good day. Uh, Other than that, I didn't do much. I thought about maybe going fishing today, but it's kind of cool. In fact, let's see, what is the actual temperature right now? I think it's in the 40s. And I don't know if I want to go fishing in the 40s. Yeah, 46. Okay, that's cool. It's 46 degrees. Good morning, D. How are you today? I need to get me another Red Bull. Hold on, I'll be back. Phill Robertson passed away this weekend. For those of you who don't know, and for those of you who don't know him, he's a Duck Dynasty guy. He was definitely the epitome of the American dream. Grew up poor, house with no electricity, toilet or nothing, and went to college, invented a duck call, and started a business that turned into a worldwide business and a very wealthy man. And a true man of God, because when he was faced with, they kicked him off of Duck Dynasty because in an interview with GQ, I think it was, he said that homosexuality was a sin, which he didn't lie according to the Bible. Okay. And he would not recant what he said. And A&E kicked him off of, they tried to cancel him basically. And the whole family stood together and said, nah, if he goes, we go, and this show's like booming at the time. What are they going to do? So they ended up folding. And I think the first season, when they were filming the first few episodes or whatever, and they would have dinner at the end and pray before the meal, uh, the network wanted to cut that part out and said they didn't want that part in there. And he said, well, if it's not in there, we won't do the show anymore. And again, they caved. So, yeah, he was a man of God for sure. Oh, sun's coming up. Well, he said he had Alzheimer's disease. Good morning, Latoya. Yeah, they said he had Alzheimer's disease, and there was something I read a little bit ago about. It said something he had something wrong with his blood, a disease in his blood or something. I can't remember. Sure, Latoya, your friend's more than welcome to come over here. But having experienced dementia with Dad, the last 2 years of his life. And Alzheimer's being worse than it, from what I understand. I can just imagine what they went through the last year or so. And anyone who's ever had a family member that has dementia or Alzheimer's, it's hard, man. Dad and mom were married 63 years, and sometimes he forgot who she was. And I remember he was sitting in his recliner one time. What do you mean until anybody come over here? He's just gonna come in the chat, right? He can't come up on my screen. No, I don't know them. Sorry, just a rule. But I remember one time he was sitting in his recliner. I'll kill my camera because some people don't like smoking. And he kind of looked at me and gave you the little like secret, hey, come over here real quick. You know, I come over and I leaned down and he said, who's the lady sitting on the couch? And it was mom. And I told him, I said, well, Dad, that's mom. She's here all the time, isn't she? I'm like, yeah, she's here all the time, Pop. And we were coming home from the doctor one time, me and him. And he started crying and I asked him, Dad, what's wrong? He said, I'm sad because I can't remember my life with your mom. So if you've ever experienced dementia or Alzheimer's, you understand. It's tough, man. At one point in the whole thing, they become childlike. You know what I mean? It was almost like having I don't know, maybe a 5-year-old here who he would forget. For instance, in the summertime, he would want to go sit out on the deck, right? And it'd get real hot, and I'd tell him, Pop, why don't we wait till the sun gets, past the horizon of the house and it's shade back there and you can sit back there then. Nope, I won't go out there now. And I tell him, okay, Pop, you're only going to be out there about 4 minutes, 5 minutes. You're going to want back in. And he'd come back in and he would sit there and maybe 15 or 20 minutes later say, I want to go outside. I haven't been out today. And me and him, we went through this repeatedly all summer last year. To say it wasn't frustrating would be lying to you, because it would get frustrating after a while. But that's what I thought of when I seen that Bill Robinson died. I think there's a river I want to go fishing at up north of here. I'm trying to think. It probably takes, I would say, at least an hour and a half to get there from here. And it is I think it would be a good place to fish. I know there's a small gravel boat launch there. And it's the river, and it's about a mile before it comes in and becomes a Salamone Reservoir. So I may, depending on what the weather is going to do this week, I may get up some morning and drive over there and fish for a while. We'll see. Other than that, I'm out of ideas. Let's see, Eric won't be up today because he's not driving. J-Dog is sleeping. I would almost bet money on that. And so what did everybody do yesterday? Do we have any cookouts, anything fun and interesting, or just a boring day? I I don't think I got on YouTube yesterday. I can't remember. I don't think I did. Hold on. Let me see here. I had something I was going to read. And I can't remember what it was now. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, man, I've had allergies continuously for over a month now. Here's a headline you're not going to see every single day. It says, the Muncie Star Press crime reporter. Police. Muncie woman bit off the top of romantic rival's finger. You got to be kidding me. Welcome to my hometown. Let's see. John Dale Verdemay Hardy, 49. What a name. John Dale Verdemay Hardy, 49. Was charged Thursday in Delaware Circuit Court 1 with battery resulting in serious bodily injury. A level 5 felony carrying up to 6 years in prison. According to Muncie Police, on the afternoon of February 9th, officers responded to a report of a fight at Indy Steak, Fish and Chicken, 300 West Memorial Drive. That's like one of the fish and chicken places in the ghetto. Usually have good fish or whatever. But anyway, I digress. In the restaurant's parking lot, they encountered a 43-year-old local woman who was missing the entire top part of her left pinky, an officer wrote. She was bleeding heavily from this injury, he added. The victim, who was taken by ambulance to the Ball Memorial Hospital, where are we at here? To Ball Memorial Hospital, told police that Hardy bit her finger, causing the injury. A man who had accompanied the victim to the restaurant said he had previously dated Hardy, and she happened to see him come into the business and confronted the other woman. So it's an ex. Officers viewed surveillance video that reportedly showed Hardy approaching the victim aggressively. The two women exchanged angry words before their confrontation became violent, according to the affidavit. Due to the angle, I could not see when John Dale, what a name, bit the victim, the officer wrote. Witnesses said Hardy fled from the restaurant in a Nissan Rogue before police arrived. Court records reflect no prior charges. You know, that's my hometown. One time, I don't know, it's been quite a few years ago, but Bob and Tom made a big deal. Lady had an ingrown toenail or something on her big toe, I think it was. And she got tired of it hurting, so she shot her own toe off with a gun. Oh, yeah, dog. Mine, actually, I didn't know. I went out the other day, last week, I think it was, and because we'd had so much hard rain and everything, my gutter had actually pulled away. I had to call Glenn and say, hey, man, we got to come over here and put this gutter back up. I don't really know how to do it. And I'm not real sure about climbing a ladder right now. But yeah, my hometown is full of crazy stories like that, man. In the 50s, I would say, they built the factories here. There was 3 pretty big factories here: a Chevy plant, Borg Warner Automotive, and Delco Electronics. And from what I hear, they actually would send buses down to the Appalachian Mountains and recruit people to come up here and live and work. And used to be, if you ask anybody where they was from that was here in town, I'm from Jamestown, Tennessee. Everyone was from Jamestown, Tennessee. Good people, but some of them are a little different. My family's from the hills of Kentucky, so I can talk about it. I'm a hillbilly too. Oh, you just want to put the link to his channel? Yeah, that's fine. I don't care. That's perfectly fine. I don't care about anything like that. As long as you're not putting links to porn or some liberal crap, I don't care. Yeah, I'm not a liberal, so if that's not pretty evident, though. So I don't really know what I'm going to do today. The more I think about it, there's a million things I could do. Let's see what it looks like outside. Oh my, it looks like it's going to be beautiful out. I don't see a cloud. Man, I should have got up and drove up to the river up there. I don't know, man. I may have to go fishing. But there's a lot of things I need to do that are more important than that, I think. I really need to clean house. Sometimes you get tired, though. Especially this time of year, because doing the stuff outside, it probably took me over an hour to weed eat yesterday, I'd say. Yeah, it's been pretty nice, hasn't it? I know Friday night I done the Midnight Madness thing, and it was a little chilly. I built a fire, and I figured out what was going on though. My phone, about I don't know, every 10 minutes or so, if I wasn't paying attention, and it would start to go a little dark, and if I didn't touch it, if I wasn't paying attention, it would shut itself off after about 10 minutes. And I checked, the thing, and there's no way to set it to stay on permanently. 10 minutes is the longest that you can do it without, you actually doing anything or whatever. So I have no idea what to do. And then tell him when I get done, I'll jump over and repay the favor. But about 3 o'clock or a little after 3, my phone went dead. Hey, morning, Uncle Lou. And I wasn't paying attention because it's never went dead before. I had it plugged into the charger, you know what I mean? And there's a port there in the back of the Buick that you can plug stuff in. Oh yeah, glitter. I've been all through them. It's a Samsung Galaxy S23 or something like that. It's pretty new. And I've even researched online. There's nothing you can do about it. They made it that way for some reason. But in the middle of the fishing tournament, my phone went dead, and I plugged it in, and it was charging slow and wouldn't come back on. So I went ahead and loaded everything up and headed home. And then by the time I got home, it had enough charge to text Brian B, and let him know, hey, dude, my phone's dead. I don't know what I'm going to do. So I went home, went to bed. Yeah, don't worry about it. It's okay, to be honest with you. It's the first time I've had it do it. It's got something to do with, I don't know. If there's a setting on your phone that as long as you're looking at your phone, it won't shut off, or it won't never, go into the sleep mode or whatever. But, naturally with that, I wasn't looking at it on the little phone holder thing in the truck, facing out. How many subs you gotta have to go live? You can go live. Oh, no, I don't think you can on StreamYard onto your YouTube. Okay, if any of you guys that don't sub to her, go over and hook her up, man. All right, share her out. See if we can get her 13 subs. I don't have a big following, so is it 50? Yeah. I don't have a big following, so there's not, much I can do. But there's some people in here who's got quite a few followers. I did catch what? 4 carp Friday night. I mean, where I was at, I knew that's what I was going to catch. There just aren't, I had 2 poles out with one was chicken and one was shrimp. And I had the one pole with, pack bait on it just so at least I'd get to catch something. Yeah, it's got that spot, but it doesn't have the option of not ever timing out, which I don't know who designed it, but they should probably lose their job, in my opinion. But oh no, not at all. What part of Ohio are you in? I'm actually in northeastern Indiana. I'm 47 miles northeast of Indianapolis. Um, Probably 30 minutes from the Ohio border, directly east of me, going out Highway 32, Greenville, Ohio. But yeah, no, it's not too cold. I'm just a sissy. I'm kidding. I went Friday night. But I didn't think about going to this river spot until, I don't know, when I woke up this morning or last night. One of those times I was thinking about it, and I thought, man, because me and Dad went for a ride one time, and we used to have a boat up on the Salamone Reservoir, and I knew the Salamone River fed into it, and I had never really checked out where it fed into it from and stuff like that. So I pulled up the maps, and we followed that river for probably 10 miles before it started 10 miles away, come up to where it comes again. Just before it goes into the reservoir, there's a gravel parking lot and a gravel boat launch. It's not, anything fancy. Busy, 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 Uncle Lou. Well, you're busy. Hey, morning, Eric. I didn't think you'd be up today. But so when me and Dad took the drive, I found that place on the map, and we drove over and looked at it. And I thought, man, I could launch a little boat here for sure. Oh yeah, the Sandusky River. I'll bet. Sandusky's Bay up there is like a channel cat heaven, man. Yeah, I've been up that way surfing before, in Cleveland area, kind of west of Cleveland, and some small communities had some pretty good surf breaks. Oh, I remember you telling me about that. Yeah, they were trying to cross the trestle or whatever. They were from Fort Wayne. Yeah, see, Fort Wayne. I'm directly south of Fort Wayne, about, I don't know, 30 miles maybe. What are you doing there? You going fishing today, buddy, or what? Or did you go this weekend at all? Oh shoot, I got that TV on. Hold on, I forgot all about that. Shit, I'll be right back. Man, somebody should have told me I forgot to turn the TV down. That TV's on with Mom 24 hours a day. She never shuts it off. At the camper waiting on the coffee. Wait. Oh, I thought. So what are you going to do? You're going to be so busy then if you're at the camper. That should be chill time. Okay, let me see. It's Red Bull morning. Yeah, it would. Eric, the natural alarm. Yep. Did you go fishing? I like it. It's hard work putting the footrest up on the recliner, man. I actually seen some where you can just push a button and it comes up on its own. I thought that suits me almost perfectly, actually. I don't know what I'm going to do today, man. It's going to be nice. It's be too nice to be in the house cleaning. Maybe it's going to rain one day this week, so I'll clean house and run the vacuum and stuff then. Hung out with the family. I tried. I thought you said something about going to your sister's or something. I might go fishing later today. I think it's probably what I'm going to end up doing, I imagine. I don't know if my son and them been too cold. It was too cold to have a pool party yesterday, that's for sure. Oh, was you over partying with them, or they just kept you up while you was in? Well, heck, I watched that 600. It was on till after 11 last night, I think. Sure was kind of a weird Indianapolis 500 yesterday, man. Morning, Dave Bozarth. How are you, buddy? It had the rain delay at first, and then it's kind of weird. They had the pace car out there doing the warm-up laps, and they do X amount of warm-up laps or whatever. And I thought it was kind of weird, but why they were waiting to start and they were still going around the track with the pace car, well, it starts counting laps at a certain whatever the time the race is supposed to start. They started counting the laps even before the race. They were still all just in line driving around the track. They weren't even in formation, which I thought was weird. And then after they get the okay, they all lined up and done the start. I think they were like 6 laps in or something when they done that. It was really weird. They just never seemed to get in a flow, so to speak, I didn't think. Just a really weird Indy 500. Yes, ma'am, I certainly do. Hi, Main Girl, how are you? Yep, I do catfish. I do bluegill. I do catfish. I do carp. I do everything but bass fishing. I never bass fished before. I haven't done a lot of crappie fishing, but I think I'm going to start getting into that maybe a little bit. Because the Salamone Reservoir I was talking about going up to that river, that's Dad used to catch some really nice crappie there. He caught one. We got a picture of him holding it somewhere. It's like 18 and a half inches long. Or 18 and 3/4, something like that. Now quit what you barking at the birds for. Here, you go outside if you're going to do that. Come on. No. Tell him, Tilly, he's goofy, ain't he, huh? Here, dummy. Go over if you're going to bark. Might as well go out there and bark at him. Go on, Till. You go tell him how stupid he is. Go on. See what? There is nothing out there, you knucklehead. Oh, gonna be a nice morning steam coming up off the swamp pond. I forgot where I was at then. I don't know. Man, I should go. I should thaw that slab of ribs out. That's really that's cool. I need to get a kit and I'm looking for one. Funky race. It was, wasn't it, dog? It was just a weird race all the way around, man. I mean, girl, you talking about my dad? My dad passed away in December. As far as Phill goes, I'm just a fan of him, and God got uh, a strong, religious, patriotic man this week. That's for sure. But thank you. Yeah, Phill from Duck Dynasty. That's who it was. Yeah, he ended up wrecking. I forget. It was quite a few laps in. Uh, he did, I mean, he was running okay. Like the whole race was weird. I mean, it wasn't there. I can't even explain it. Having listened to it my whole life, it didn't seem like it got to go to like a flow where it was right out. You have to watch a replay or something. You'll see what I mean. And it's just a weird race all around. Is that what it is? Who won? Is that you guys' car that won? That was oh, what was that guy's name? Anyway, I thought they said something about that it was his first oval race or something like that. I forget what something, but yeah, they have the banquet tonight. I forget, one of the local channels carries it live, and they give out all the checks and everything. They're good, exactly, dog. That's what I was talking about. They started counting laps before the race started. Why they were making sure the track was completely dry or whatever. And then they lined them up at like lap 6 or 8 or something in that range and done a start. And which I just thought was weird as hell, that's the dumbest thing I ever seen. I mean, and it's not like they got to worry about it getting dark on them. Before they start that race 2 hours late, they still got plenty of daylight to get that race in. I mean, I can remember years ago before they, surpassed 200 miles an hour or whatever, that, they had to get it started at a certain time because it would take so long to do that many miles. But now it doesn't take them very long to do 500 miles, really. So I don't understand it either, man. Just really, really weird race. And the guy who spun out before the race started there on the front straight and hit the wall from warming his tires up because it was so cold. And I forget the last time it was real cold like that. It was like yesterday. It may be a little bit colder. But Roberto Guerrero was sitting on the pole. We had went to qualifying that year and seen him set the track speed record. And coming out of 2, going down the back stretch, they weaved back and forth. He was weaving back and forth and went to kind of give it gas and spun out and hit the wall, sitting on the pole. You ready to come in? Okay. All right, my friends, come on in the house. What's up? Nap time? Yeah, wake me up at 4:30, 4 o'clock, and then go sleep while I'm on. I see how you are. I almost didn't do a show today, but Little guy woke me up so early that I was sitting here and thought, well, I might as well. I was just going to say no show day because of the holiday, but like I said, I was sitting here at 4:30 doing nothing. And then I didn't watch all the 600. I wasn't, didn't have it on paying attention to it the whole way. I just had it on one of my monitors. Yeah, exactly, Tim. Like it just that's one of the highlights of that race is the start, man. You get those 33 cars lined up coming out of four and down the straight, and they hit that first turn flying, and that's just it's the most awesome thing. I've never been to the race itself, but I always wanted to get a ticket in turn one where you could see them coming down the straight into that corner just to see the start. That's I would only sit there for the start. Then I'd head out to the back to the car and turn the TV or the laptop or something on and watch the race and cook out and stuff. Because after that, they start getting spread out. You can't see that much. But yeah, I thought seeing that start would be awesome one time. Maybe someday I'll get to do that. I got time, I reckon. But maybe not. We'll see. You'd think a guy lived here his whole life would at least went to the race one time. But it was actually more fun to go to the opening day of time trials because back then they decided the poll on the opening day, and it was pretty exciting stuff actually. Let's see, turn that all the way down. There we go. Huh. Interesting. Hey Lou, refs are killing Caitlin right now, aren't they, man? You talk about a bunch of BS. I don't know, man. Yeah, I bet it would be. Where I've never agreed with NASCAR running on the Indy track, man. It's just not made for them. I mean, you got to respect the drivers to be able to do it without any banking or whatever. But and I think it's ran its course. I think it'll probably be over with before long. I don't think they'll be there much longer. What last year or whatever year before, something like that, they moved them to the road course or something. It's stupid. I don't think NASCAR should run on a road course anywhere. The cars aren't built for that. But I don't know who's in charge of NASCAR right now. They're trying. They had that damn race on Amazon Prime last night. The heck was that all about? I mean, I got Amazon Prime, so it wasn't a problem for me. But it's like, is NASCAR trying its hardest to get rid of the core fans? You know, the people who's been around it for 30 years, watching it every week. I was like, because I was looking for it on my TV guide thing, and I couldn't find it anywhere. So I had to Google it, and it was like it was on Prime, and I'm like, the heck is going on? You're probably right, dog, but they're going to realize the fans, they're not, once they get rid of them, they'll never be able to replace them. And, I don't know. I just think they keep messing with NASCAR. They're going to ruin it. How many road courses they got now? Races? 5? 4 or 5? Something like that? 6 maybe? I hate them. maybe I'm just a grouch. That's probably what it is, isn't it? I give. Yeah, I wonder how long it is before StreamYard lowers their price again, or if they ever will. Hey, morning, Northview. How are you? You any fishing this weekend? I would. I don't know. I might end up going fishing today. It's going to be nice and cool, man. It's a perfect day to go. I could even take my cart and go to Summit Lake and fish. Uh, over off what they call a sunset shelter. It's about I don't know, 100-yard walk or so back over to the bank. But I got so much crap to take, rod holders, chair, cooler, you name it. Heading out right now, less than a mile from Buckeye. Do some crappie. Nice. Yes, I was just talking about maybe doing some crappie fishing sometime. Yeah, I agree with you. It just, I don't know. And doing stupid things like that, changing it to where they do stages, which it don't really matter to me one way or another. I don't care about those. I just see it as a planned caution or whatever. You know what I mean? Yeah, I know Northview. It was a bummer, man. But I don't know what having it on Prime, in my opinion, was Prime must have just thrown a bucket of freaking money at them or something. I was like, what are you doing? I wonder how many viewers they had on Prime. You know what I mean? As compared to if it was on like Fox or whatever. It might be something interesting to look into. I could always go up to Sonny's and go bluegill fishing, I guess. So there's a lot of things I could do, I reckon. What you doing, little man? There ain't nothing out there. Did the sun come up, buddy? Let's see. Yep. It's so far over behind the trees in the farm over there now, I can't see it come up for it would be until it starts coming back the other way again now. Like I said, sunset tonight at 9:30. So I got plenty of time to decide whether I want to go fishing or not. I suppose I could turn my camera back on. I forgot it wasn't on even. Wasn't there ahead. I don't know what to do today. See, 44 minutes. I'll probably shut this down at the hour point because I'll get bored of talking. I'm doing pretty good right now, keeping it kind of going without actually having someone to talk to. So, but eventually I will run out of stuff to say. No, airport flooded with travelers. I wondered what they meant. The headline I could read, the first up said, Indy airport flooded, but then, it's just that you couldn't see the rest of it till you hit the button. with travelers. I'll bet it's crowded there. I forget how many people they said was at that race. It was a sellout. It was 300,000 people or something like that? It was packed, man. And all of them got to get home somehow. This stranger. What's up, buddy? It's good to see you.
What's going on, brother? How are you?
I'm good. Yourself? It's good to see you, man.
Good to see you too. Happy Memorial Day, brother.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, people don't forget it's not about hamburgers today.
Nope.
And it's good to see you, man. How you been? How's the
been rough. Everything's been rough. You know, just a storm. Got to get through another storm.
really?
Life ain't always ain't always fun, you know.
You guys had storms out there, did you?
No, it's just a term. Like you're going through a rough
Oh,
time.
the storms in life. Okay, I'm with you. Yeah, never mind. I'm sorry, brother. I understand. Yeah.
No, it's all good, bro. It's all good. So you got the dog in here and Dave and Northern View Outdoors. What's up, everyone?
Man, I had some crappy bets on the 500 yesterday. I probably shouldn't have made them, but I took some long shots.
Hey, bro. Sometimes you have to.
Well, with Indy, you never know, you know. And then you had two Penske cars all the way in the back row, which you knew would eventually come up to the front.
Yeah, it's not NASCAR's the same way though. It's tricky, man.
Yeah. I wouldn't even begin to bet on NASCAR. I know that.
My wife and I just go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say the outdoor motocross season started, and I gotta let it get in a few rounds before I even think about, because you know that it's hard telling who's going to start rolling in it. You know.
Yeah, that's like any sport, dude. I'm so hesitant beginning of the season for any sport because you don't know. It's a new year, new season.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't know who's going to do what. You know.
Yeah.
You got to see a couple first.
I know. I done pretty good on the Supercross season. I forget. I won throughout the whole season. I won over $500 or $600 over the whole season.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I probably bet 200, maybe I'd say, but I won 500 or 600. The first 2 weeks that I done it, I killed it. And then I think their odds person, you know, got a little more sharp at what they were doing. I don't think they were that attuned.
Yeah, that's always the case, dude. Yeah, the lines get tighter, especially as the season goes on. They catch on.
And because the first one I hit, I think I hit the first one that I done that was good. I think I bet 25 and it paid 260 or something like that. Yeah, it was big odds, but it was one of them, man, I can't believe you guys, you know, made these odds for this. There's no way.
Well, speaking of betting, dude, my wife and I made the decision we're finally going to leave California. Can you believe it?
Are you?
Yeah.
Good. Where are you going?
Nevada. We're going to move to a little suburb right next to Vegas. So
I almost knew that's where you was going to go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Good, man. Get out of that high tax brackets.
No state tax. Where they make their revenues off of all the tourists.
Exactly.
Sales tax is through the roof, but everything's cheaper. Gas is going to be, you know, in California, it's going to get up to $8 to $10 a gallon. I can't pay that, bro.
No.
I tap. I can't take it no more.
Yep.
I can never own a nice house here. I can get a 5-bedroom house there. We were looking at houses, 5-bedroom, 3-bath with a pool. In your backyard, you're looking at the strip, right? That's your backyard. You get to see the strip in the distance.
Yeah.
Dude, 450,000.
Man, you'd
That's
be
it.
amazed what 450,000 would buy you here in the
You
Indy
can
area.
even get a little townhome here for that. Not even
Oh no,
close.
not even nowhere close.
So it's a no brainer, dude. We just, it's just scary. We were both born and raised here, and it'll be totally new to us, but
Yeah,
we got
but
no choice.
I mean, they're driving people out though, hand over fist with the
Oh, I know.
cost.
I'm one of the layovers, but I can't afford it anymore. I can't afford to live here anymore.
I
So it's
know
time to go.
a lot of the national motocross teams used to be headquartered out of Southern Cal, and I would say 60% of them moved to Florida for simple fact there is no state income tax, and everything's cheaper.
Yeah, everything's legal in Nevada. Shoot, I can carry my Second Amendment around too. I just got to get it
Exactly.
licensed, and then you can carry it. That's why the crime's so low.
Yep. I don't know. I know in like the NFL and stuff, if your team, say your team's playing in San Francisco, for instance, well, the money you get paid for that week, you get taxed at that place, so you got to pay their taxes. I read an article about it in Sports Illustrated a long time ago.
Hmm.
So I just wonder if it's the same way with like Supercross when whatever town they're at, you know, do they
Well, that'll
get
be the thing too. And I hate the rain, dude. They only get 4 inches of rain a year. I don't mind the heat. The heat doesn't bother me. I love that. They got
yep,
Lake Mead right there.
yep.
And what was it?
And it's
All the
actually got water in it now too.
and my teams are there. The A's are going there, and the Raiders are there. So it'll be like I never left the Bay Area,
Yep,
right?
yep.
So
I don't know what's going to happen to California, man. To be honest with you, like you said, they're driving all the people that make income out of there.
yeah,
Eventually you'll have a state made up entirely of people living off the system.
no, I know exactly what's going on. Gavin's trying to he on purpose. He's trying to bankrupt the state so that the feds will bail him out.
Oh, yep, yep.
That's what he's doing.
I just read an article this morning about Bank of America's in trouble or something. It said you
Hmm.
may see it getting a bailout before long, which I totally disagree with bailing a bank out. I'm sorry.
I know. I hate it. It puts you in a tough place because everybody's money's like everyone's money's in there. And the
Yep,
bank, like, they win either way. You know what I mean? Like, they have no risk
yep,
because, oh, if we lose everyone's money, the feds will just bail us out. You know what I mean? That's such
yep,
baloney, dude.
yep. You know, when they bailed all the auto manufacturers and stuff out, the only one that didn't take any government money was Ford.
Oh, I didn't
So,
know that.
yep, yep. So if I ever buy a vehicle, it's going to be a Ford if I buy a new car.
That's what I got. That new Mustang. There you
Yeah,
go.
because Ford always seems to weather the storms somehow.
Hmm.
But yeah, I forget. Where did I read that at? All the other auto manufacturers took a bailout, but Ford, which Ford's smart. They don't want the government to have any stake in what they do.
Yeah, that's true. I wouldn't want it either. You got to
Yeah.
have a rainy day fund. You know what I mean? So,
Hmm. Yeah. When it gets me, and most people don't even think about when you say like your electric company says they're going to raise rates, right? Because
yeah.
they need to upgrade their infrastructure or whatever. Okay. Well, if you own a business that involves any kind of a building or whatever, you have to have what's called an operating income statement. And in that statement, you have to have a reserve set back for repairs or
Oh,
upkeep.
yeah. Dude,
Why
there's
doesn't the
red
power
tape for
company have to
everything,
do the
bro.
same? Well, see what
Yeah.
I'm saying? The power company knows that their power poles and lines and things are going to age and have to be replaced eventually. So shouldn't they have to set back a reserve to do that instead of raising rates every time it needs done?
You would
If
think
you're a
so.
private business person, you have to do it.
Well, all
You
of our
know?
power lines here, they're all underground, which they all should be. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Power lines should not
yeah,
be above ground by any means. And we have earthquakes here,
yeah.
and they're still underground.
There's a there's still a lot of them in the air here. But I
That's
just,
just not
every
good.
time they go to the state, because they have to go to the state and ask if they can raise rates. And why nobody at the state ever says, wait a minute, don't you guys have a operating reserve set back just to cover this type of thing? And if you don't, why? You're making profit, so you've got the ability to save, to have money set back for infrastructure upkeep and things like that. I just get so mad when they say the reason they have to have the rate increase is because the lines are so old and we need to replace X amount of 400,000 poles and blah blah. Well, you should have planned on that.
Yeah, that's a you problem. But the thing is, they're the only show in town. You got to pay. You got to pay the electric bill. It's not
There
like you
you
can
go.
get option B or C. So they
Mm-hmm.
know they can get away with it. That's why they do it.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And the government don't want you to be self-sufficient and do it all on your own,
Good morning, Lisa.
because the technology exists now that you could get by on your own without the power company if you had to.
Oh yeah, for sure, dude.
The initial outlay, and you would have to have a operating income reserve for when things went bad, unlike the power company. That's just one that always gets me. I'm not that smart of a guy, but I know that much about business. And the way I know it is from doing appraisals for apartments. When you do an appraisal for an apartment, you have to figure up the operating income, and then, operating income less the, the reserve for stormy weather, so to speak. And then you take all that away, and then you come up with what the actual profit for the dwelling is or whatever.
It's just so inefficient to even have power lines above ground. I mean, we don't get tornadoes
Mm-hmm.
here.
Yeah.
Everybody gets tornadoes, but California. And all them power. Whenever there's a storm, my power hasn't gone out. I can't remember the last time it's gone out, dude. It's just like,
Morty. What's up, Morty? Yeah, I agree, man.
you know what I'm saying? It's a scam, bro.
Yep. Now,
But yeah.
mine went out when the storm we had, the tornado was about a mile and a half from here. Mine went out for
Oh, I'm sure.
probably
Yeah.
16 hours or so.
And that's what
But
I mean. When it's out, it's out. You know what I mean?
every,
You guys get tornadoes and bad weather
yep,
and it goes out for days.
yep, every power line is above ground out here.
Yeah,
All of them
that's
are.
crazy, dude.
Except the service line coming to the house is underground, but all the
Yeah.
actual lines themselves are above ground.
Yeah, it's insane to me. In 2025, they're still above ground, like in most
Mm-hmm.
of the country.
Yep.
That's just stupidity. But
Yeah.
and it's
Florida learned they put most of theirs underground that they can.
yeah, especially them. They get hurricanes every damn year, and I don't know how you live like that with your power going out all the time. Then you gotta, if it goes out for a certain amount of time, you gotta replace all the food in your fridge, and
Yeah.
that can be expensive, dude.
Yep. I got a freezer out in my garage with a half a beef in it. Imagine what that would be.
Yeah,
You know what I
it's,
mean?
it's
I actually bought one of them little bitty generator things just for that freezer.
well, that's smart.
Oh, and it's just for it. Then it dawned on me, well, how are you going to get in the garage if the garage door opener won't work? Because you ain't got no power.
Yeah, that's right. Everything's all power now.
I'm like, dude, I'll break a window and get in there.
Yeah, I got side doors for mine, so
Yeah, I got a
if
side
the
door
garage door don't work,
locked
then it's
right
coming in the
now. But
side door.
okay, Morty, I have no idea.
So,
Why does every woman's favorite number 88?
I don't know. I'll have to look that up.
You know why every woman's favorite number is 88? Evidently, nobody does because there aren't no guesses in the chat, and I have no idea. The only thing I know about 88 is Dale Earnhardt's number, Junior.
That's right.
Yeah. So hook us up, Morty.
Is that a union? The local 88?
Yeah. Because they get 8 twice. I'm with you. Yeah. I am going to shut this down here in a little bit because I only get X amount of hours from StreamYard a month now because I'm not paying them for what they charge anymore.
That's expensive, dude.
Yeah, $44 is what they want for just the basics. I'm like,
Oh,
nope.
I know. I pay that. I have to pay it because I film
Yep.
so dang much.
Yep. I was okay at 26, I mean, because I'm just doing this for fun. I ain't making no money or nothing like that, and ain't even trying to. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
uh, there's no way that I can afford to pay $44 a month for something just to use for fun. And I don't really know much about going live on YouTube. You know what I mean? I don't know if you can bring people up or anything.
See, I don't know either. I remember I used to before StreamYard, but I never brought anybody up. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I just
Yeah.
hit the freaking go live button and then. But yeah, I didn't know how to bring people on or anything like that. I don't think you can.
I don't know. I haven't looked at it that far. I need to though. And someone else is using something different too. I forget
Yeah,
what
there's a
it
bunch
is.
of them out. Yeah, a bunch of
Uh,
different ones.
well, Mark was telling me, Catfish and Crappie was telling me. I can't remember what it was now.
That's a good thing though, because then it keeps it competitive. You know what I
Yep.
mean?
Hey Ernie, how you doing? I'm getting ready to shut this down here in a few minutes. All right, buddy?
Oh, that's no problem. I just figured it'd be easier to tell you guys than try to type it. Too much to type. On YouTube, you can bring one person up, but you have to send a link out to that person before you start your live. Then, if
Really?
they don't come up, then you're there by yourself. So you have to send it to 2 or 3 people, but you're only allowed one person up.
Really?
Wow.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I have to look into it and see.
So it's basically you and your co-host.
Yeah. There's a lot
I
of
ran
money
out of
out there.
hours
You got
2 days
to put
ago.
your name on it. Yep, my name's not on any money right now. But yeah, I
Oh,
guess
maybe.
I don't know what StreamYard was thinking, to be honest with you. I mean, I just don't get it. I mean, I'm sure they had plenty of people subscribed at $26 a month.
Oh, they did.
And then what they done, they strung it along, got people like us who get these little shows going for fun. And then, like the crack dealer, okay, now we've been selling you this crack real cheap. Oh, by the
Yeah.
way, next week we raise the price. Well,
Yeah.
you're already hooked on the crack. You're going to pay it. It's
I
going to
think
go out
somebody
more.
just. I think they just got bought by someone. I think that's why. I think someone
Oh,
just
Yeah,
bought
they
really?
got
StreamYard.
bought out.
Yep.
Yeah.
There you go. That says it all.
Greed, man, greed. That's all it is.
It is, man. That's all this whole country and the world revolves on.
Disgusting. Yep. It's
I
disgusting.
just, yeah. The evil that happens just for profits is unbelievable. I don't know. I know how some people sleep at night.
Well, that's like me. I got all these tomato plants that come up. I thought, what? And so waiting on my neighbor to get his stuff tilted up. I was going to give him a bunch of them. I got extra plants.
Yeah.
Well, I don't need them. I don't want to see it go to waste, but ain't much I can do, really.
Yeah. I didn't plant none last year, and I might plant a couple this year. I always used to, but I'd have to plant them or grow them in bucket or something.
You can do that. I grow
Yeah.
tomatoes in there for my salad. I grow them in a
Yeah.
bucket, but I got 5 of them that come from Steve Adams. 4 of them's in the yard, and I put one in the bucket to see which way it grows good.
Yeah.
But I'm
You
running
sent
Yeah.
late
you some
this
seeds or
morning.
something?
Do
Steve
what?
sent you some seeds.
Yeah, Steve Adams.
Yeah.
Yeah, Johnny Small Pepper sent me some too, and they just ain't growing. He thinks they might have got X-rayed.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Stunt their growth real bad. So them ain't doing too good at all. They're only about an inch tall. And they've been in the dirt since end of February and March.
Huh.
There ain't nothing like a fresh tomato out of the garden,
No,
man.
Rip it
nothing.
right on.
Nothing. I've never seen any better than the ones that grow here in the Midwest. Something about the soil, man. They're just awesome.
I'll fry me up some bacon since I'm running late on my medicine.
Oh, yeah.
Making some fried bread. Make me a sandwich out of it.
Well,
Tomato
live
sandwich. Yep.
streams I joined around a month ago. I didn't know what I was doing at all and kept accidentally backing out. I don't know, Maury.
Could I have the power to kick Gabe off? He's talking dirty. He said tomato sandwiches.
Tomato sandwiches. Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. I never had that. Now I put them on. I make
What?
grilled cheese with tomatoes on them. You
You
Oh
know.
my
never had a
goodness.
tomato sandwich, Buggy?
No.
You throw some mayonnaise on there and you're good, bro.
Oh, I
A little
that.
pepper, a little salt. All good
Yeah.
to go.
Really?
Yeah.
I never
Oh,
even
yeah.
thought about it before.
We're
Because
gonna have to
usually,
take him out and show him something there, Gabe.
if I'm
I
going to make
know,
a
right?
sandwich, it's going to involve some meat.
Don't need no meat. It tastes that good, brother.
Huh? I
That's
have to
right.
try it. Yeah.
And you take it with you fishing because you ain't got to worry about the meat going bad. You know what I mean? Throw in a
Yeah.
baggie
Mm-hmm.
and take some tomato sandwiches with you. Especially on a hot day, man. They're so good. Those and cucumber sandwiches, too, are pretty good.
Now that sounds pretty good, actually. Cucumber
And on
sandwich.
a hot day. Yeah.
Tomatoes and cucumbers in a bowl, a little Italian dressing, or you can make a sandwich out of
Yeah.
that. Either
There you
one,
go.
you don't go bad.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Really.
It wouldn't hurt to put some bacon in there either, but in a pinch, you ain't got no bacon in your fridge. You just make a tomato, cucumber, like you said, some salt and pepper, a little oil, vinegar. It's just pretty,
Yeah.
it'll
Yeah.
do.
Oh man, a BLT sounds good, doesn't it?
And it's good for you.
Oh, I haven't had a BLT in a long time, man.
Oh, I'm gonna make
I'm
those
gonna
tonight.
wait till tomatoes come on before I have one though. That way it'll be extra yummy.
Man, I can never grow tomatoes here, man. There's too many critters, like too many raccoons
Yeah.
and whatever, man. I have to put it like inside in a greenhouse somehow. There's too many critters out here.
Build a cage, that's about all you'd have to do, Gabe.
Something
Nah, that's true.
but they was at the gathering or whatever, and they were all freaked out by the raccoons and stuff coming up and trying to get stuff. I'm like every state park I've ever been in, you have to worry about raccoons getting your stuff.
Yeah,
Man, they're
unless
as big as dogs here, man. They're huge here.
Really?
Yeah, they're mean and big.
Huh. Yep. I'd have to get a big dog then. Make sure they stayed out of my yard.
Yeah, I had a dog that used to catch them. One almost got away. He got it just by its tail and pulled it back over the fence, and it was a goner.
We used to have possums at the old house, man, and I hate possums.
Oh, those things freak me out. Yeah, they look like giant rats.
And everyone says the same thing, and I suppose it's true, but they eat ticks, they eat all kinds of stuff, so they're actually good to have around. But I just can't get into no possums, man.
Yeah, like no, man. They look like giant rats. I ain't gonna kill one. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it ain't in me to kill an animal. Like, I know
No.
where my food comes from. Like, but for me to actually do it, unless I actually was starving,
Yeah.
that's the only way. I couldn't even shoot a deer, dude. Like, I couldn't.
I know
I couldn't do it.
the whole possum thing with me is me and my buddy, we were probably 12, I'd imagine, something in that range. And we were messing around and we heard something in a trash can at the neighbor's house. And we went over there. And as we looked over the edge in there, there was a possum in there. And he looked up at us and went, ah, scared the
Kids,
crap.
right? Yeah,
And
they're mean
we took off
suckers,
running.
dude.
And from that day on, I've never liked possums. Only
Yeah,
because it scared the hell out of me.
they're mean. They make that scary hissing. They're mean, dude.
Yep. And they got teeth.
I tell you, someone across the field one time and kicked him, and he just balled up
Yep.
and smiled at me
Yep.
like that didn't hurt.
Yeah. I said, all you got, dude. I get worse than that out here in the woods. Don't worry about it.
That's pretty much about it. I mean,
Yeah.
a dog could actually maul one of those, and it would lay there. You pull the dog off. You give him about 15 minutes of quiet, and he'll get up and walk away.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
That's how bad they are.
But I
That's
used to
why
have
they call it. That's why they call it playing possum.
Yeah. We had these two big old tomcats used to come around. Dad always fed them. And when they would leave at night, the possum would come in and eat their food. And when I first moved back to Mom and them just to help Dad and them, I didn't know about the possum, and I let Tilly out the back door one night, and off she went, and she had this possum cornered against the corner of the fence, and it's dark, and I'm like, Tilly, get over here, you know, that damn thing, if he bites you, I'm gonna have to take you to the vet and get shot. No, I'm gonna have to shoot the possum so they can see if it has rabies or not. And but eventually the possum quit coming around, but the raccoons are like little burglars, man. They can get in anything.
Yep.
We
Yeah, I
had
had one in a cage one time. He got out, and it only had cracks in it, maybe 2 inches wide. And how he got out there, I don't know.
They're
I've
like
had
cats, dude. They can squeeze under like the tiniest things, dude. That's why, like Buggy was saying, that's how they get into places, man.
I had them, you know how like you close the cooler lid and they'd have like the plastic latch that you push that clips down, right? I had them open those. I was laying there at night sleeping or just about sleeping. I heard pop, went out and there's a raccoon standing there. He had put his paw under and opened that plastic thing. So then I got one of the Coleman kind that you turn the little metal handle, you know, and it locked it down. And they ended up figuring out how to open it. So we ended up having to set something heavy on top of the cooler for when they tried to open it.
Yeah, that's smart little suckers.
Oh yeah,
All,
yeah.
all
Well,
they care about is food, man. They'll do
I was
anything for
fishing one
food.
time, and you know, you got them plastic or them metal live nets or whatever that you know you hang over the side and you put the fish down in it. Well, we come in and it's just about dark, and we had a cabin rented on the lake and had its own pier. So we come in, tied the boat up, and just left the net hanging over the outside of the boat. You know, and said, "Well, we'll clean fish tomorrow morning; they'll be alive." And I get up next morning. They got in the boat, pulled the net up out of the water, got all the bluegill out of the net, every one of them, and the ones they couldn't eat, they ate the eyes out of every one of them.
Oh,
Yeah. So the next night, I thought, well, what I'll do is when I pull up to the boat ramp to the dock, I'll hang the net down between the boat and the dock, and then I'll tie the boat up to the dock real tight where there ain't no room for it to come up, and they still got it up somehow. So I was like, okay, from now on, I guess I'll throw them in a cooler of ice and clean them in the morning.
yeah. Last time I took my wife to my lake, man, she started feeding one. I'm like, "What are you doing? Now they're gonna be like 20 of them over here. Stop
Yeah,
feeding them."
yeah, and they'll be arguing in the woods when you throw something in there.
She's like, "Oh, they're so cute." I'm like, "Yeah, well, you go take them back in the brush over there. Keep them away
Yeah,
from the
they're
fish."
cute until 2 o'clock in the morning when you're trying to sleep and you hear them ripping everything off your picnic table.
Exactly.
Yeah, I
And
picked the baby up off the road, and I had him eating out of my hand in 3 days.
I
But it
had
took me
one.
some
Oh
time.
yeah, you can raise them, dude, if you
We
get them
had
young.
one as a pet when I was, I don't know, early teenager. Nuisance was his name. Rightfully so, he was a nuisance. But by the first spring, it was a male, and by the first spring, he was ready to go out and see. Hey, Don, how are you, buddy? Hi, Jody. He
Hi,
was
Don,
ready to go
Jody.
out and see the girl raccoon, so we had took him out the woods. A friend of ours had a place out in the woods, and we took him out there. And the guy said he showed up the next couple years in the spring with his mate and their babies.
Oh,
Like
that's
he
cool.
up to, yeah, he'd come up to show them off to him, and off he went, you know.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
But man, he would be roaming around the house at night. And we went to Kings Island one time. It's an amusement park in Cincinnati, and I got one of those. I won one of them. It was like a glass Pepsi bottle that they stretch up and make it real. You know, they eat it and stretch it or whatever, and had blue water in it. I thought it was cool. And he knocked it off the dresser one night and broke it on the floor. And from that day on, me and Nuisance were no longer friends. Yep. Looks like we lost Gabe.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry about that, Gabe. Anyway, I'm at an hour and 14 minutes. That's 14 more than I planned on using because I got to budget my hours to get through the month without running over. So we're going to call this a day. Ernie's going to come up and go live, and we're all going to go over and bother Ernie and see what he's doing on his back porch today.
It'll be after I eat. Unless you want to see, if you want to go through the torture of watching me eat a bacon sandwich. Of course, it ain't the bacon sandwich I want to make because of budget.
Jody, what do you mean it messed up his car? Do you mean by it splashing goop all over his car, or did it mess?
Thanks for letting me come up, bud.
Oh, no worries. Was it Jody? Wait, I got here details of this, man. It says, OMG, there was a dead raccoon in the road. James couldn't dodge it in time and messed his car up by hitting the dead raccoon. Oh, gross.
Nasty.
Yeah, it would be. I was dirt bike riding one time. Me and my buddies just play riding in the woods. Came up over a hill, and I knew the hill, so I knew you could hit it kind of hard and kind of leap over the top of it. I jumped over the top, and I looked, and there was a dead deer. It's summertime, dead deer laying there all bloated. And I was probably less than 4 inches from landing on it.
Ooh.
I'd have thrown up for the rest of the day. I'd have been, can you imagine that on a dirt bike landing that bloated deer? It just exploded all over me.
He would have exploded all over you.
Oh, he has a little sports car. No kidding. Oh, that sucks. Yeah. And I was trying to throw my hand up to warn the people behind me. Fortunately, no one hit it, but we stopped probably 50 yards down the trail, and I was like, man, dude, we are so lucky we didn't hit that thing. I mean, because he was on the verge of popping, you know what I mean? And I thought, golly, I'd had to throw stuff away. There's no doubt in my mind.
Oh, yeah, there's no getting that off, dude.
Yeah,
I thought about the last time
I'd have thought about it every time I try. If I say I would have washed them pants and stuff in Jersey, I'd have thought about it. So psychologically, I'd have thought I smelled it anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's like getting sprayed by a coon, man, or a skunk, man. You just throw it away. There ain't no getting that out.
I had a dog get sprayed by one time, a little Cocker Spaniel, and yeah, it smells different than what it smells when you smell them on the road.
Yeah,
it was unbelievable.
I told you that last time
I came out of the kitchen and had a mud room, right, and then the back door. Well, it was like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. I'd come home from the bar. I was drunk, so I come out of the kitchen, close the door, go to because I heard him yelping, and I go in the mud room, and I open the door, and he come running in. And the second he run in that mud room, it was like, oh my God. And so I actually jumped out of the mud room, closed that door, and went around the front and come in the house. Now, had I not closed that kitchen door, which I normally wouldn't have, he would have run in that house and got under my bed. No doubt in my mind.
Oh, that would have been a disaster.
Oh, I'd had to move. I would have.
Well, I told you last time I went out fishing, and that snake went right behind my feet, and I didn't see it until I turned around and it already had passed me.
Oh.
Bro, I still have nightmares about that, man.
I was gonna say, yeah, that's stuff I have dreams about.
That was a big snake, dude. I don't know what type it was. It wasn't a king snake, which we have a lot of those out here, but it was brown. I'd hate to say it could have been a rattler, but it's not like them to just slither by your feet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, hey, there's a
big brown snake
on YouTube, a rattlesnake. It's a rattlesnake cam or something, and they've got this camera set up in this right outside of this den of rattlesnakes, and I know there's got to be 20 of them in there. And
yeah, I have no problem shooting one of them.
No, not at all. But it's cool to watch, man. Could you get a bird's eye view of what they do on the day and how they live?
Yeah, I just froze, dude. I stood there. I had my boots that went, all the way up to protecting me all the way up to my knees, but still, because I knew there were snakes out there, so I wear those boots when I go out there. But
Yeah.
Man, just the way it moves and it stopped and looked at me. I looked at him. We both froze. It was
Yeah.
like a Mexican standoff for like 5 minutes.
The snake's like shit. He sees me, and you're like, oh shit, I
Yeah,
see.
yeah.
You know, I didn't know black snakes, which most places down in Kentucky have them in the barn and stuff to eat rats and everything, but they will kill rattlesnakes.
Yeah, that's what the California king snake does. That's all they
Yeah.
eat is rattlesnakes. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know it, man. I seen a video and I was like, get out of here.
But I know what king snakes, I mean, you can spot one a mile away. They all look the same. But this one, it was brown like a rattlesnake, but it just didn't behave like it because they don't do that. They hide and brush and everything. And you'll hear it if you come near it.
Yeah. I need
They
to
don't
find
just go right
that
behind your leg.
rattlesnake channel.
Yeah.
Hold on, Morty. Let's see.
So I'm going back to my lake, man. I ain't going back to that spot again. Now I'm scarred.
Hit me up right there, Morty. Yeah, I remember me and Dad were wade fishing a small river, southern Indiana or whatever. We were found a really cool camp spot by him. We were camping there. And he's wading in front of me about 20 or 30 yards, and I'm on one side, he's on the other. And I look up, and there's a snake hanging out of the tree above the water.
Oh God.
Oh, yeah. I
No.
turned around and went the other way.
No. Nope.
I was like, Dad, there's a snake. He had a 22 pistol revolver. I don't know.
Good man.
Long barrel on it or whatever.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't care. I'm like, I'm out of here. And I went back to the truck. I said, I am not wading in that creek again.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what kind they're waiting for me out in Nevada when I move. What kind of
Oh, yeah.
critters
Well,
I'll be
then
needing my gun for.
we were bluegill fishing in a place, Dogwood Lake in southern Indiana, and had a bunch of trees and stick ups and stuff. The whole lake was full of trees, and they had license plates cut like pointed to at night. You could use it to navigate through the trees through the channel with the spotlight. But anyway, we had a snake try to get in the boat.
I've seen that. Yeah.
We were boating towards where we were camped at. We were headed into the little inlet there by where we were camping, and he was coming across the inlet there, and he seen us, and he turned us because we was just it's trolling motor only lake, and he turned and started coming towards the boat. I was like, Dad, there's a snake. He's all right. He's like, Dad, there's a snake, and it got closer and closer, and it got right at the edge of the boat and was trying to, and I smacked him with the fishing pole. Like, you are not getting in this boat, me and Memphis, I'm telling you.
We got a bunch of their water snakes. We got a bunch of them here, dude. Yeah, they'll swim right up to your boat and try and get in. I don't know what their intentions are, but it's no. Yeah, dude. Picturing you smack it with a fishing rod though, that's hilarious.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what I would have done, dude.
Yeah, a little ultralight bluegill rod too. You know what I'm saying? Dad was laughing. I said, it ain't funny. I don't do snakes, man. I'm sorry.
No, even the way they
I don't
move
care.
on the water is creepy, dude.
Yeah, I don't care. It doesn't matter to me if they're poisonous or not. I can't do snakes.
Probably a good bait though.
I don't care. I'm not even touching them when they're dead. Yeah, I'm not a snake guy, man. I'm telling you, I just can't.
You know the rule though. If you kill a rattler, right? You gotta cut the rattle off, and that you gotta.
Oh, yeah. Oh, for
That's
sure.
tradition. Yeah, you
I
keep
know
that rattle.
Mom said when she was a kid, they was down in Kentucky, my great grandpa and them where the land and stuff is, and her and her cousin went up into the barn. It set up the hill away from the house. Seen this big black snake and beat it to death with a hoe. Come running down and tell Grandpa they were so proud they killed this snake. Well, it was his snake he kept up there to eat the mice. He was not happy.
Oh no.
Yeah. There we go. It's called Colorado Rattle Cam. It's actually pretty cool. Check it out sometime. I have it on one monitor while I'm working on the other one.
I'll watch it
I
during
don't know
the
what
day,
kind of
man.
camera they use, man, dude, but they can zoom in on the snake where you can almost see up into his nostrils that close. It's an unbelievable camera.
Yeah,
It is.
they got probably someone remote. You know, you can remotely
Oh
move
yeah,
it.
yeah. It's an organization that runs it, and the reason they run it is try to educate people, about rattlesnakes. Well,
Yeah, I was
this
watching
spring,
this dude on YouTube. He's a he kills hornets and stuff with a vacuum. You ever seen that dude?
I like that
He,
idea of the vacuum though. That's an
he
awesome
got these
idea.
huge hornet nests, right? So he don't use poison.
Yeah,
He has like a vacuum and he just sucks them all up. And he's got his bee suit on so they can't sting him. And he
yeah.
just uses a vacuum. It's
I
crazy. That'd be
like
so much
that
fun.
idea. A shop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd
Just
wear a
soak
bee
'em up
suit
in that
though.
shop vac and then take it
Yeah.
full of water or something.
That's what he does. Yeah, he has
Wow,
a whole
that's
channel,
cool.
bro. But
I'm gonna
some of
remember
these
that the next
wasps
time
are
I see a
huge.
bee nest or a hornet nest or whatever, like in the corner of the eaves or whatever. Yep,
You
I'm
better
gonna be able
wear a
to.
suit though, man. Because if he didn't have a suit on, he would have. Yeah, because there's like hundreds of them on him.
Oh yeah, yep. You don't want to mess
It's
with
just fascinating to watch. Yeah, because they're dumb. They don't know any better. They're like, "Oh, what's that noise?" I'm gonna fly towards it, and then whoop, they all get
them.
sucked up. It's
Yeah, yep.
fascinating. Some of
Yep.
these hives, how big they get.
Oh, you ever seen them where someone will hear them in the wall or house or whatever, and there's these people I see these
Yeah,
videos, and they'll go in and take, and they'll start taking. Well, I seen one that like it was probably 10 feet across the wall in the back. It was the back side of the house. It was probably 10 feet long and 4 or 5 feet high. They had to cut that wall out, and it was that big.
yeah. I've seen this dude has on his channel. He goes to people's homes with. Yeah,
Yeah.
they build them right into the freaking walls, man.
Yeah. I was like,
Can you
well, just put
imagine?
a little opening in and turn it into a honeycomb and go in there and get honey.
Well, at the end of the video, they have like they have larvae in between. The honeycomb. There's larvae in there,
Yeah.
and he'll get like 50 of them, pull them out, and then he feeds them to his chickens and stuff at home. At the end, it's hella funny. They love those things, man.
That's cool.
He's got a pet squirrel. The squirrels come up, and he just give them all this bee larva, and then yeah, it's funny,
Yeah.
dude. They even
No,
like the honeycomb too. They'll eat that.
yeah. My cousin's a beekeeper, and there's something going on. There's a lot of beekeepers losing whole colonies of bees for some reason. And people don't realize if the bees go, we go.
Oh yeah, no, I think they figured it out because yeah, I heard something about that a couple of years ago actually. I'm
Yeah.
starting to see more honeybees now than what I used to. So I think whatever happened, I think they righted it.
Yeah, I seen a guy made a beekeeper guy. He was like a bee expert dude or whatever, and he made a really good quote about there's beekeepers and then there's bee havers. There's a whole different world there.
Yeah.
To keep a healthy colony of bees and stuff, you've got to know what you're doing.
Oh yeah, you got it. It's like science, man. You got to
Yeah,
know.
yeah. It's like having cattle almost. The stuff you have to know.
Yep.
Yeah. Uh,
Yeah, I'll
all right.
send you a link to that dude's YouTube, man. You got to
Yeah,
check it.
do
It's
it.
just
Yeah, for
fascinating to
sure.
watch, bro.
Yep, for sure. I think I've stumbled across those videos before.
Yeah, that's fascinating. And he uses, like I said, he uses zero poison, no poison. It's just the vacuum. It's crazy.
Jody, go look at a pontoon. Heck yeah.
Is
When do
she?
you get to move into your house, Jody? Before I go, just answer that for me real quick. And then if not, text me and let me know. But I'm going to shut this down. I've been on for an hour and 28 minutes. 28 minutes more than I probably should have, but that's all right. It's been a good morning.
Yeah, good talk, man. It's good catching up,
Yeah,
brother.
yeah. I'm glad you stopped in, brother. I worry. I think about you and worry about you every now and then then I'll
Don't
see
worry
you.
about me, man.
Yeah, I
I'll be
just
good.
worry about people. That's just how I
I
am.
know.
I think about people, and then I'll see, something on the DraftKings thing or whatever, and I know he's all right. He's doing all right. He's still kicking. So,
And my
but
health's finally starting to turn around, but yeah,
yeah,
don't worry about me.
I'm glad you're getting out of Cali, man. I know it's hard.
Yeah. Scary, but we got to do it. No other choice.
Yeah, she's out of town on a trip, man. Jody, you're gonna have to pin that lady down. I'm telling you.
Hmm.
What y'all do is just go in and move in that trailer and take all her stuff out and put it in a storage and change all the locks, move in and tell her, well, I'm here. So whenever you want to come over and get your money, you can. But you can't come in my house no more.
Does she have a squatter?
No, she's buying a trailer on a place that's this trailer place that's on a lake, on
Right.
the lake, the big lake or whatever, where she catfishes at. And she closed on her house and everything already. And the lady that she's buying the trailer from is out of town right now, she said. So she can't,
Okay.
pay
Okay.
her off and get the title or whatever.
Gotcha.
But
Yeah, that's a lot of paperwork.
we researched the title and stuff a while back online. She sent me a copy and I looked at it and it looked clean and clear to me.
So I was
Yeah.
gonna say, Jody, don't make me get on a plane. I'll go get rid of them squatters for you
Yeah.
real quick.
Yeah, no doubt. I'm with you. I seen one guy, one guy had squatters and he couldn't get them out. So he sent a construction crew in and they started taking all the windows out of the house. They said, well, I'm going to replace the windows anyway. So let's just take all the windows. And they took all the windows out of the house, took the doors off and stuff. And eventually they messed with them enough that they finally just got out. And then one
Dude,
guy, I think he even demolished his, if I remember correctly. While they were gone, he tore the house down.
did you see what they're doing here in California to get rid of the homeless in front of these businesses?
Uh-uh.
They're putting large speakers out in front of their businesses and they're playing Baby Shark 24/7 as loud as you can possibly play it. And apparently it's working.
Oh, that's priceless.
They're moving like they're getting rid of all these homeless people out in front of their stores. It's hilarious, dude.
Yeah, that's
Oh
priceless,
man,
man.
that's genius, though. Yeah.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah. Oh, that is so fun.
All right, Buggy. I'll stop talking your ear off, man. Good catching up with you, dude.
No, I'm glad you did, brother. Pop in anytime. Okay, chat, my friends. We're gonna call it a day. Everybody go out and do something fun today, unless it's raining where you're at. Right here, it's sunny and cool, so I'm gonna do something outside. Oh yeah, no, Joe, don't give her a damn penny until you have the title in your hand.
No, Jody.
Yeah, no, you already gave her a deposit. You ain't send her no fucking money. Tell her
No
she's
money.
crazy.
No.
Say you bring the title and I give you the rest of your money and not until.
Exactly. Because she can take legally, she can just take your money and run.
Oh yeah, 100%. She doesn't have a contract or nothing.
No contract. No.
Nope. I told her.
You can't even fight her in court over it. So you
Yep.
know nothing until you sign that paper, darling.
Yep. If you ain't got it in writing, it doesn't happen.
Nope.
And there are people in this world who will do that. What deposit? You didn't give me no
You
deposit.
didn't give me nothing. Yep. Oh, it was a gift. Oh, I thought you were giving me a gift.
I've seen it happen. Yeah, just
Yeah.
people are like that. But yep. Yep. What'd she say when you told her that when she had the title in your hand, you had the title in your hands, you'd give her some money?
It's got to be notarized and everything. Got to have a notary check off on it and everything.
I would. Yeah. It's a single wide, so it's got a title like a vehicle does.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it's the place where it's at. Someone owns that land, and she'll pay lot rent there.
Right. All
But
right.
it's
Yeah, I
okay
used to live in a trailer park.
She'll own it outright anyway. So
Yeah, I've been down that road in the trailer park. That actually it wasn't a bad gig. It honestly wasn't.
Yeah.
It just got too small, so we had to move out.
Depending on who runs it and what kind of place it is. I know they have some around here that are for old people only. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And those are really nice.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have the ones that, the crackheads and dealers all live in that you don't want to drive through. Because they make speed bumps in them just so you have to slow down.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
They can fly you with their wares as you drive by. Hey man, check that out. I remember in Germany, you'd walk down the sidewalk in Frankfurt. I was stationed really like 2 train stops from downtown Frankfurt, and be walking down the sidewalk, and these Africans, actually really people from Africa, would have these little umbrellas, right? And how the flaps fold around. Well, they would have sticks of hash in them flaps, and they'd walk by and they'd look at you. You want some? And they'd open one of them flaps and show you the stick of hash, because that's all they
Damn.
had there. Yeah.
What do they call German shepherds there? They just call them shepherds?
That's a good question. I have no idea.
Oh, okay.
I don't think I've ever seen one. I did see a Rottweiler there one time, that, bar none, the biggest Rottweiler I ever seen in my life.
Yeah, everything's bigger in Germany, dude.
No, he was the real deal. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Not like all the crossbred crap you get around here.
'Cause I got my German Shepherd from Germany, and I told you he's 155 pounds.
Yeah.
He's bigger than any German Shepherd breed in America by far.
Yeah. And that's the problem in America. They start getting so interbred that eventually it's, why waste your time?
Well, that, and they lower their hips. So when they lower the hips too, it's bad for their hip joints, and then they're smaller.
Yeah.
Mine was from Germany. She got them from Germany, and they're called straight back German Shepherds.
Yeah.
And they're the rarest dog breed in the United States. And I have one.
Oh, that's cool.
But he's a sweetheart. But everything in Germany is bigger, so I'm not surprised that Roddy was huge.
Very loyal dogs too.
Oh, smart and loyal. Oh yeah,
Loyal,
dude. His mama.
courageous.
Yeah, don't.
That's the best
If a
part.
stranger goes near his mama, he's ready.
Yeah.
He's like, you better back up. unless my wife like acknowledges that person, then he's like, okay, you can pet me.
Yeah. Hey, Martin, how you doing, brother? You came in just when I was getting ready to end the show, which I said that 36 minutes ago.
Buggy's got a hot date this morning he got to get to, and a tomato sandwich.
Yeah, if it's called something outside in the yard to do, I may start working on the boat today. That'd be really cool, actually.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah, I think I will, actually. And then breakfast is done. All right, Ernie, we're going to hang this up. You go live, let us know. All right, guys, we'll see you all in the chat. Thank you for hanging out with me, especially the ones that were here at 5 a.m. early. And I'll see you all Friday. If not, I may, you know me, I may pop up before.
All right, y'all, take care.
Babies.